account is automatically closed. So because of the fact that you guys have the that this is just a reflection of your payment received for those DoorDash orders, then we'll just go ahead and keep it like this. But you would go down to new house account. New house account. Whoop, let me save this. 1 second. No. Okay, new house account. And this is where you would go in to enter things like first name, last name, email. This right here. I believe that an email or a phone number is absolutely required in order to set up a house account, because you got to have backup. If you know, technically this is built for billing out customers, so you have to have some kind of contact information. So you can throw in like a bogus phone number or something, or maybe the phone number to the restaurant, and then you can go ahead and set it up so that it's like, you know, DoorDash payment. Now, would you like me to just go ahead and build that out for you? DoorDash? Sure.
Could we also have one for, because with gift cards, we'd also need one because not all of our restaurants use the same POS, but the gift cards work for all restaurants because we use a separate iPad.
Okay.
So we'd also need that.
Okay, so one thing that we would need, is there any chance that you have submitted the liability report to your project coordinator? So the liability report, what it is that it's a list of the gift cards that already have balances on them. So what liabilities are there? That is one thing that we would need to get set up with gift cards. We would need the liability report and the range of the existing cards.
As of now, we're not going to use Toast gift cards.
You're not using, well, you're using third-party gift cards though. We would still need the information about that. So that way we can take the gift cards, integrate them into your system so that people can swipe their gift cards at your restaurant. So yeah, we would just need the liability report. It's usually pretty easy to find. Most of the time you'll just reach out to the gift card company that you bought them from. Just be like, hey, I need a liability report. Can you send that over to me? They should yield that information, and if they charge you for it, they're full of crap.
Okay, got it.
So, what was the phone number for the restaurant again? 989?
495-6000.
6000. Thank you. Oh, that's right. No punctuation. 495-6000. Once it actually wants to do anything. Okay, let's see. Oh, email is required, but that's fine. Let's just do DoorDash at Genji.com. Cool. Sweet. Okay, cool. Set it up with a bogus email address, DoorDash at Genji.com. Yeah, so that'll be set up as a payment option for you. Next section is discounts. So under discounts, these are all the standard discounts that come with our system. I think you might have a few more worked into here. I'm seeing things like Family Mondays, Wine Wednesday. Is that legit? Cool. Yeah. All right, so it looks like you guys actually already have some of the discounts already set up. Excellent. So a few things about the discount page. This is kind of like the quick menu for this kind of stuff. So you can do from here, you can set things like whether or not it's a fixed percentage, dollar amount, open dollar amount or percentage. You can designate whether this applies to a check or just an item, what the value is. You can also turn discounts on and off. So if you have any particular discount, like say like a holiday discount, a lot of bars will do things like St. Patrick's Day discount, and you can turn the discount on for the day and then just turn it off once you're done. So that allows you, instead of having to build out an entirely new discount every single time, you can just go ahead and turn it on and off. If I hit the pencil for one of these, changes will be lost. Yeah, that's fine. Then I'm presented with more advanced options. I'm able to do things like change the specific name of it. So instead of a big long name of a discount, shorten that up. I can change it so that the button's a different color. I can designate whether this discount must be applied by a manager or can be applied by any user. You know, common discounts like military discount or something like that oftentimes are set for anybody can set them up. But it just depends on the way you guys want to run things. Let's see. Discount, you can set the discount type. If you guys end up doing rewards at all, you can require manager approval for rewards redemption. And then you can set whether this discount applies to any item, the entire check, or a specific item or group. So if there's a discount that can only be applied to say sushi, for example, you can only apply this discount to this, you can designate that so that it has to be a sushi item in order to be discounted. You can also set things like availability. You can set discounts so that they're only available certain days of the week, in certain times of the day. You can set up certain rules like this discount will only apply if the transaction amount is between this particular amount or above this particular amount. You can set whether or not it's applied automatically. And then, so that's one thing that I definitely, a more kind of homework type thing, I would recommend that you just review your discounts, make sure they're doing everything that you want them to do, and again, I'll be here to make sure they work right. So, you guys are gonna have me for a whole 8 hours tomorrow, so I'll be able to get things fixed out for you. Okie dokie. Now, the next kind of sort of homework thing that I would say is probably gonna be the reasons. There are void, no sale, discount, and payout reasons. Payout reasons, obviously, you don't need to worry about too much because you guys, doesn't sound like you're doing cash payouts for pretty much anything. Voids, no sales, and discounts though. If I go into void reasons, I'm presented with these options. Right now, it's customer change 9, server error 86, testing and training. What I would recommend is setting up a list of like 6-ish different options, or maybe even less than this, depending on what you guys want to do. I recommend that you kind of make it a little bit forgiving, but at the same time, it's kind of a tight set of categories that don't really allow people to do weird stuff, so that you can come back to them and be like, hey, this was supposed to be, this thing was 86, but I found out that we had a whole case of this in the back. What's going on? You know, you can follow up with that kind of stuff.
Wait, so for payout, wouldn't us tipping service out from the drawer be a payout?
That's right, you're gonna be paying them out directly from the drawer. That's a good call. Then yes, that would be a payout. That's probably the best way to do that, is you would wanna hit payout and then do the tip designation. And it'll prompt you for that and like why you're doing the payout and whatnot.
And then after that, the cash register will tell us still how much is supposed to be in the drawer after payout. Okay,
yeah, absolutely. You got it. And that's actually a good question because it will, if you don't pay out your server tip outs the correct way, your drawer will be out of balance. So, and you'll be reducing that margin until you come to balance. Let's see here. So then there's, there's no sale reasons is another one that you can set up. Somebody pops the drawer. Why did you pop the drawer? You know, like things like, customer wanted change, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's also the, let's see, discount reasons. Discount reasons, you can set these up if you like. You don't necessarily need to. It's useful for setting up things like, you set a reason like manager comment. It would make it so that like they have to select the manager comment option and then designate a comment for why a particular thing was voided. Specifically works for comps because you set discount reasons. Unfortunately, we can't set like void reasons to have text or anything like that, but if you do comps and whatnot, we can set a discount reason for a comp percentage. So if somebody comps 100% on an item, a manager comps on that, it'll designate, well, why did you comp it? And then you can go ahead and proceed from there. Does that sound like something you want to be set up so that they have to input comments if they say like apply a discount of some kind? Okay.
And wait, so if you use void, we can't see if it's like why it was voided, like for example, angry customer or.
So that's the thing about it is that if you void an item, it's first going to present the. Whenever you go ahead and void an item, it's going to present the those options like I was talking about, like item 86, testing, training, etc. Those are of course simple reasons, but with like voids unfortunately they don't have like comments. So I'd recommend that you encourage management to do comps instead of voids depending on the circumstances. It depends because avoiding an item it wasn't pulled off the shelf. They didn't make anything with it. You void the item so that it doesn't reflect that on inventory.
Okay.
A comp is you did it, you made it, and you're comping the item.
Okay.
So that's kind of the difference between the two. Okay.
So void food hasn't been made. Comp food has been made.
You got it, precisely. That is the way that you will want to run with that because that'll make that the simplest. Let's see here. So then I'll go into your discounts and I'll set your comps up so that they'll prompt for they'll be prompting for manager description. Set reason. Manager comments. Save. Discount reason required, comment required. Save. Okay. Nope. Discount reasons. Assign reason. Manage comments. Discount reason required. Publish. There we go. And then finally, manager comp. Entire check. Discount reasons. Assign reason. Cool. All right. There we are. All right, service charges. So if I go under, back down to this payment screen, I can go down to the service charges option. I hit service charges. I can go ahead and go add different charges. So for this one, let's talk automatic gratuity. Let's see. So what percentage would that be? 18. You got it.
We also have a cake cutting fee.
Cake cutting fee. Okay, excellent. We'll do that too. Just 1 second. Sign check owner. Yes. Tax. So apply after. Apply this. Hang on 1 second. Apply this here. Check this great. So we can set it up. Looks like we can set it so it'll apply after a particular amount on the table. I don't think it's with number of guests. I'll look closer into that because I feel like there's a spot where we can do that. But we can set it so it applies to a certain amount automatically. Would you like that to happen or just? Oh, that's right. We were already talking about the manual setup. That's right. Okay. Let's see here. Pre-discount total, delivering. No, cool. All right. So cake cutting. Add cake cutting fee. And how much is that?
18% tip is it before tax, after tax?
It's before tax, or at least that's the way it's set up. So, and we can switch it around if you ever want to. But, well, actually, it's pre versus post discount total. I'm sorry, it applies pre-tax. How much is the cake cutting fee? $15. All right.
Then we have a wine corkage fee.
Corkage, you got it. So add corkage fee. How much?
Is that 30 here?
I thought you said 35. I thought the cake cutting was 10.
Oh, was it?
Uh-oh.
$10 cake cutting.
$10 cake
And
cutting
then
fee.
wine fee is 30 then?
35?
30? Getting my restaurants confused.
It's okay. I'll set it for 30 for the time being. And then I'll adjust that cake cutting to $10.
Yeah, the cake cutting is $10 and the wine corkage is 35.
35. All right. Corkage, $35. Cool. All right. Those service charges are all set up. You guys don't have like a private room or anything like that?
We do, but we don't charge.
Oh, you don't charge for it? Okay, I'll remove that charge. Let's see, room fee, goodbye. There we go. All right, awesome. So right now you got auto gratuity, 18%, and you got cake cutting fee and corkage fee. Cool. All right, so then tax rates, UI options, sales categories. So right now the sales categories that we have are food, liquor, draft beer, wine, non-alcoholic beverages, retail, and bottled beer. Food, I can imagine, sounds to me like that needs to be split up into multiple categories. So do you want all your food broken up into separate categories, or do you just want specifically like sushi and teppan to be indicated? Okay, so we're
because the appetizers go to the sushi printer because the sushi is the one who does appetizers.
Okay, gotcha.
And my other question is on the, when we bring in food, I mean, people order steak and shrimp and steak and chicken, but we don't ask them the temp. The chef does. And we can't just put it in because they will cook it like that.
Sure, you got it, absolutely. So we'll go ahead and we'll probably just remove the meat
because
temperature option.
if we can't just click whatever, but the chef will cook it like that. It's written on there.
Okay, gotcha. So it's just at the table request. We can just go ahead and turn that off. Is there any example of something that would be cooked in the back and would require meat temperature?
Yes,
They order
only
the
sushi and takeout.
Okay, only sushi and takeout specifically, so nothing needs a meat temperature, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Got it, no
What
problem.
about takeout orders?
Takeout.
Takeout and sushi needs the meat temp, but
because
the
back in the
back
Oh.
because the back cooks the.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna set meat temperature to be optional. Okay, because that's the best solution for this, because there's no way that the system can like differentiate items between what's here and what's takeout. So if we set that as an optional, you don't have to press anything. But for takeout orders, you can.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll keep everything more or less the way that it is, but we'll just change it over to optional. I'll give you just one quick sec to fix that while I'm still thinking about it.
Do customers here order private Teflon?
A lot.
So could we have another sales categories for private, and one for Teflon and one for sushi?
Are they
Because it's a different tip out if they order tepang over there.
Because that's the private area.
Because there's not a show for them. The food's cooked in the back and the servers bring it to them.
okay? The thing is with that is that so
Because right now what we
with those particular items, can I order them here and there?
Yeah, but the thing with that over there is that there's a different number with the different percentages already over there that we use.
Okay.
So if you clock in as a steakhouse server, all your tip out will be.
The
set for
issue
here.
is that we can only set a single sales category for an item. So if that sales category for that item, it has to be whatever that item is. It can't be like, unless you build different items that are like private this, private that, there's no way to separate the two. So what I would recommend is things like, I don't know, say like different percentages. You can designate like one thing that might be recommended is just have like a free item that's just like private. You put private on the order, and it shows, you have it be the first item that you order on a particular bill, and it'll show on the bill that this was a private order, so then you'll be able to list that out. The problem is though, is once you get down to your tip percentages, we'll have to figure that out.
Well, because it's not that. I mean, of course, in there it doesn't differentiate that they're sitting in there, sitting in here. Right now, what we're doing is we're using a different number that the number is already set up in there to make it different categories. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's a different number in here for different categories, and there's a different number in there for different categories.
What I think might not be a bad idea is maybe we should set up an exact replica of your food menu that's like private food. And then that way we can take every item that's in that menu and switch it over to that sales category without a problem. And really building that menu, I could build that menu for you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, because so if a server in here types in her number or his number, and it'll break it up into different categories, but the number that's already put in there for the sushi servers is broken up into different categories, and of course with the different percentages.
Okay, gotcha. So I am thinking that probably would be the best solution for that is to just kind of have like a separate menu with separate sales categories. And then that way it'll be relatively clear. You know, the items don't have to change. We don't have to have anything designated as being like private filet mignon and teriyaki chicken kind of thing. Like that's not necessary. We can just go ahead and have the exact same names, exact same prices, same taxes, same everything, just in a different menu. So would that work out? Does that sound okay? Okay, I can do that for you real quick in just a minute. And we got tons of extra time. We actually almost have like going on like a full like 45 minutes of extra time. So some of that stuff that I was saying is homework. I'll be able to help you guys with some of this. Let me build this menu for you really quick.
Yes, for like our other restaurant, we have it where, for example, we have a button for tap-on, we have a separate button for private. And with private, it's the same menu, right? But there's a P in parentheses.
That would be precisely what it would be, is that we're just going to set a menu. So like we would do things like, so would you want it to be like private food, private sushi, private teppan, and then
No.
food, sushi, teppan.
Sushi doesn't be private.
It doesn't need to be
So
private.
it's just for the chef to cook. Because if it's on, so let's say for steak and chicken, there's steak and chicken normal. That's staff knows that's for teppanyaki. But if
Sure.
there's a steak and chicken with a P, that's for private. Meaning they're gonna
Okay.
cook it in the back fully cooked. They're not just gonna bring out raw ingredients, because for teppanyaki they bring the raw ingredients because they cook in front.
Okay.
Compared to the private, it has to be fully cooked.
So you will need to have a designation on the item to show that it is private serve.
I mean, unless
Bring-
it
bring it
when
out.
we print out chef tickets, does it print the it prints the table number in there.
It will print the table number, yes.
Yeah, because then they know the difference between the two tables.
Well, then why don't we do something like with the tables? We said like, I mean, we can do it where it's like P1, P2, P3 kind of thing. So that way the table numbers will have like P in front of it to say that this is private and designate to the cooks, oh, hey, this is a private order. We can also set up a separate dining option as well. So instead of just dine in along with